Action. All right, cool. Welcome back to another episode of Running on Stoke. I'm your host, Chris.
I'm also your host, Jacob.
All right, so today we have Zach Panning, fellow teammate. Great first kind of guy to break into our guest system here. Zach, Pride of Indiana was a standout at Grand Valley, D2 powerhouse where he accumulated multiple All-American finishes, 3 individual titles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I think kind of the coolest one, I don't know, he can probably evaluate more on this, but definitely the team title they had in 2018 of fall, right? Is that correct? That year? Cool. So then obviously after that joined Hansons-Brooks, where I think kind of the highlight of your career so far, and I'm going to speak for you here, was probably your 2:09 marathon finish at Chicago. Second American, really just kind of setting the team record as well for Hansons. So that's kind of, considering they've had Olympians and Boston champions, that's pretty good. So congratulations to you. This is Zach. You want to say a few things? Anything else you want to add?
I'm real excited to be on the podcast. So these guys are a lot of fun. So to be the first guest, it's a true honor. And I'm so excited about it. So yeah, let's get to it.
Cool. Should we start off with some questions for him? Should we interview him a little bit and then move on?
Can I interject real quick?
You can do as you please.
Okay.
You have more pull in this room.
I just wanted to say thank you to our sponsor.
Oh, you brown noser. You brown noser.
Why did you say something about some of the products?
Stoke Elite Nut and Seed Butter. I mean, it's full of anti-inflammatory agents. So it's just going to be great for you. You guys were finally led on to the new product, the apple walnut flavor that Wilkerson and I were super excited about for the last year. He was working on it. I was kind of his lab rat. I don't know, trying it out.
You're a compulsive.
Really, I really think it helped. Helped a lot in my build to Chicago, in fact. And so, just want to plug apple walnut and really just Stoke in general. Real exciting product. And a great product for runners and athletes everywhere.
Some would say you tested positive for Stoke.
Yeah. What's your go-to Stoke meal?
I like throwing it on some. I don't know what the bread's called, like Crazy Dave's bread. Get it at Costco.
Oh yeah.
You got a Costco
toast
card?
That. I do have a Costco card.
You've made it.
Wow. So you're doing pretty good.
I have the Costco Visa card.
Wow.
Yeah. Lots of points. So.
Well, congratulations. Welcome, Zach. I guess kind of how'd you get your start in running?
I guess I'll enter into that with a little story from a recent run that we had as a team. We were giving our Nintendo player comps, and my wonderful Hansons-Brooks teammates deemed me the Wario of the team, and so obviously I'm doing great. My mental health is in a great spot after those comments, and eating normally. So no, but when I was a freshman in high school, I weighed a little bit more than I do now, and my parents currently. Yeah, I was a big boy.
You were a hog.
I was a hog.
I wonder if we can splice in the picture that you have on Twitter, or if not, you look up Zach Panning on Twitter.
Jack can find it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It's the first hit if you Google my name. So, it's so
really?
Yeah, it is. So,
No, what?
Yep.
That's hard to believe.
You've won multiple national championships, and Chubby Zach is what pops up
Yep.
first.
Wario Zach is number one hit.
We need to crop you for this video. You need to put him on Wario's little fart bike that he has.
Yeah, we'll have to change the thumbnail from a nice,
from
hyping him up. We'll just put Wario instead.
We'll just have it floating around with some 7th grade project that we're running.
Yeah. But anyway, going into high school, I was a bigger kid. My parents wanted me to make friends somehow. because that was a difficulty for me. As most runners know, we're not the most eloquent with our making friends. Maybe that was just me. I don't know.
I think you just got bullied
Okay,
a lot.
It makes knowing you know. That makes a lot of sense.
That checks out. Yeah.
But yeah, I decided to go out for cross country. Hated it at first, but then just kind of every race that season, I got a little bit better, and I kind of fell in love with that feeling of just beating the me that I was the day before, and that's kind of just pushed me to just keep improving through high school, through college, and now as a pro. So that's kind of when I really fell in love with it.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
So mom, dad, runners?
Yeah, they were runners. They don't do too much of it these days, but they coached middle school back in the day, and so I did a little bit of running before high school, but clearly if you do see that picture of me, not a lot.
That was when you were priming to be a hockey player. I thought at that point, like maybe a goalie was kind of like in the forefront, or what were you, mid defense? What was your you were a hockey player?
I played defense. Yeah.
Any
Wasn't
other
a
sports
big
in the
guy.
background?
I played football briefly in sixth grade.
Nose tackle, I'm assuming.
Defensive end.
Oh,
And fullback.
Oh, yeah, fullback makes sense.
I was opening up the hole for the running back. So didn't get a lot of carries that year, but
well, the fullback, the low man trophy. That's what you were up
Yeah,
for that
yeah,
year.
exactly.
I mean, that must be that was just what a torpedo to the legs. Because I mean,
yeah,
you know.
I was a little guy too, so yeah, I went
Ankle
low,
biter.
chop blocked them, and sent that running back to the house.
Yeah. No, I think moving on from like your football career, your transition from high school to college. I raced against you, obviously, in the Division II days. Well, raced against you is a bit of a disservice to you. I was in the race with you, not for very long. You obviously multiple national championships and that team title Chris talked about. What was your biggest transition to college? Because I mean, you were obviously good in high school and winning like most races that you were in, I'm assuming. But like, what was the transition like to a pretty well established team like Grand Valley, and like what was the college experience like for you?
I love my college experience. I did go D2.
You chose D2.
I chose it. Yes.
did D2 choose you though?
No,
you chose D2.
no, that was all me.
Okay.
And but I really loved my time at Grand Valley. I think going into an established team like we had there made it easy to follow guys around who kind of had the lifestyle nailed down, and that kind of helped me develop a lifestyle. And I think that's a super important thing in running, is just living every moment. Just asking yourself the question, is this making me better? Is this making me worse as a runner? To everything you're doing throughout really every day. That time early on in college when I was able to watch those older guys and learn from them, I was really able to establish, what answered that question the right way for me. So.
Yeah, I feel like culture is huge, especially in the college system, because, like, I mean, you're just a stupid 18-year-old kid, and you're showing up, and, like, you have no idea what you're doing. You're going to college. You're on your own for the first time. I feel like, yeah, it is really important to have, a college team that does have that culture, because it's very easy if it's, like, a party scene culture, or, like, if it's not serious, and, like, obviously when you come in, like, you can try to break that, but it's definitely hard. So, I think, yeah, that's definitely a good thing you had that there. And, obviously, it's continued on. They're continuing that great work. Future teammate Isaac Harding,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And two Lakers on the team.
Yeah, current teammate. Soon to be roommate Isaac.
Yes.
But yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember the biggest one that I could remember was that Pitt State 5K where you and Sydney were. Did you end up getting Sydney that day? I have so few memories.
No, never won an indoor title.
You didn't win that indoor title.
Oh.
But
yeah, you guys
Sydney,
you guys were so far away from me at that point. It was it was me and Jack battling it out for
If Sydney was there with a quarter to go with me, like it was over for me, unfortunately.
Was it the lack of kick, or was it? Did he
Yeah.
He had you
No,
upstairs or what?
he just had a kick. I mean, he had a devastating kick.
Devastating.
And so that was just something that I didn't have then, and I am struggling to continue to develop. But if I can run it out of you, then...
Well, that's the good thing with where you're at now, like kind of transitioning, obviously. We mentioned it a little bit earlier, the Chicago performance. That was I mean, you've obviously been racing well, like post-collegiately as is, but I mean, that was a pretty big breakthrough. And despite what Sidious Mag says, I think you put you in that category of a guy that's going to be there at the trials, like, honestly, because 209, in a world marathon major, a lot of guys can do this at like a CIM or something like that, but doing it at a major in a race like that, I think kind of solidifies you as a little bit of a potential dog of the week during the trials. So can you walk us through what Chicago was like for you?
Yeah, so I've run Chicago in back-to-back years now, and this year I was lucky enough to train with the founder and CEO of STOKE, Wilkerson Given. And so, my first marathon 2 years ago in Chicago, I ran 2:15. It was a hot day, but, I wanted to run a little bit faster. That's kind of what we trained for, but I was hoping to be able to close a little bit more over the second half of the marathon. And then, as we're sort of getting ready to start training for Chicago this year, Wilkerson and I meet with Kevin, and JP was there as well, but we were kind of nailing down a goal pace. And originally that goal pace was going to be 2:11, and Wilkerson wanted more. He wanted 2:10, and so that was kind of when I was really nervous at that point to sort of take that on. But luckily we have great teammates, great coaches that sort of nail that down, and really throughout the training block help us develop confidence in the ability that we have to potentially do things like that. And so the further that the block went along, I was pretty confident that I was at least going to run 2:10, especially if we had a good day weather-wise. And the weather was perfect, and it was a lot of fun this year to be able to run with like the top-ish group of Americans. Obviously Manson, Frank were a little out in front, but to kind of really race the second half was a lot of fun for me. And then it was really a surreal experience, because in college that was one thing that I knew was on my radar was the marathon. That was always something that I knew I was gonna be able to I thought be pretty good at, and so for that to kind of come to fruition and run a time that is pretty solid for Americans and internationally is pretty exciting for me. So
yeah, I mean like anytime you have a 2:0 marathon time, like that's pretty legit. At what point in the race were you like, I'm having a day, and you were like, I'm gonna run like something kind of special, something crazy?
Yeah, we were lucky enough to have two of our teammates pacing for the first half, so that part of it that was made pretty easy by them. Just had to look at their shoulder blades and run behind them. But after halfway, we came through right at 65, and I kind of started to pour it on just a little bit. But I would say really like 16 to 18, you're kind of in no man's land a little bit. It's always loud in Chicago, but there's a few spots where it gets a little quieter. And originally I was hearing footsteps behind me, but those footsteps, start to fade a little bit, and I realized I'm the only one left in this group, and I'm feeling pretty solid. And that's when I knew, like, okay, like, here we are. Like, I knew it was going to hurt, and it did hurt at that point, but I knew I was in for something big at that point. So
yeah, that's pretty cool.
You said in college you always had the marathon in the back of your head. I think a lot of guys that race the 5 and 10 in college, because those are obviously the longest distances, kind of have that in their head. When you have that in your head and you start actually doing the training, like, was there any doubts, I guess, like, with coming into it? Were you ever hitting stuff where you're like, oh crap, this might be too much, or like, am I actually going to be able to do this for 26 consecutive miles?
I really like the way that we do it here with our group. In that, like, the first marathon that you do, Kevin kind of gives you a goal time that he feels you should be pretty capable of hitting. And not to say that the training is easy necessarily, but you can really learn the event without maybe necessarily that stress of, oh my goodness, like obviously there's always that stress of running further than you've ever run before for a race, and wondering what, those last 4 to 6 miles are really going to feel like. And that was always a worry for me. But being able to learn that distance first made me kind of understand how I was going to feel, and just made me really confident that, like, if I'm able to sort of stick to the program and knock these workouts and just the mileage out of the park, then it's not going to be easy, but it's something that I'm definitely capable of doing.
Yeah, no, and like I wonder with that too is, what's the psychological element of being, obviously I've never run a marathon, like, what, you got to be brain dead for most of that, I would assume. Like, I mean, like, you can't completely turn it off, because obviously you got to be making sure that, like, you're staying on or whatever, like, but like, walk us through, like, a little bit of, like, what your prep is, like, mentality wise going into it, like maybe from like the week out or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, being able to sort of go brain dead is I think a
Go to sleep.
Yeah, it sounds silly, but sort of being able to turn off the brain a little bit is definitely a big thing. But really, just in the workouts leading up to things, and in the long runs especially, I feel like those long runs are the closest you're going to feel to the race itself. Just on tired legs and all that good stuff. Just coming in with confidence, not cockiness. I guess just like a quiet confidence. I would say, knowing that you're ready to go, and knowing that it's just like, I kind of compare it in a way to like running your first 10K. I don't know how you guys felt running your first one, but like, you go through stages, like 1 mile, really 1 lap, you could feel just terrible. And then it clears up in a couple laps and you feel great again. Like, I feel like that happens like so much more in a marathon as well. That you just got to put your head down in those times, and sometimes it's just, I always think getting to that next bottle or that next mile mark, then you kind of start fresh. So obviously it's 26 miles, so that's a lot of starting points.
Yeah.
But
that's aggressive.
But yeah, it's like, if I can just get there, and then just get there, it becomes a little easier to comprehend. So
yeah, that just sounds absolutely gutting. I know I'm going to end up doing it, but I just going mile by mile through. I mean, counting to 26 is long for me, just in general. But like, yeah, no, I think that says a lot about. I think a lot of the marathon has like a lot of psychological elements, and obviously a lot of it's physical as well. But you're a guy that can consistently put it together. Just train with you for a short period of time. You're very even keel, and I think that's something that plays really well into your marathons, just because never get too high, never get too low, and that's. I mean, the marathon's consistency, I think, and that's something that's showed in your racing capabilities. So that was something that I picked up just watching from the side. It looked like I went and watched that weekend, and I was just like, it looks like he's doing a long run right now. Like, it just like, you guys, it didn't look. I saw you at 11, or I saw you at 6, 11, and 18. I think is what I saw you at, and like there wasn't a change in the way you looked, and I think that was interesting because I saw other guys at 6, 11, and 18 where it was like some of them you could tell they were like wanting to jump the gun, and others were just like dead men walking at that
Yeah.
point. So I think that's kind of the interesting part of the marathon is I think you can see whose mentality breaks first.
Yeah, and that patience early is really hard. But obviously, when you have teammates to run with, and luckily we had teammates that were pacing us, that definitely makes the first half real easy to just turn the brain off and sort of lock into that pace almost.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How do you feel? I feel like mentality and like mindset is like almost as important as being in shape. I don't know how you guys feel about it because it's like there's plenty of guys who are always in shape, and then but just for whatever reason like just can never put it down. And it's like I feel like a lot of people you're like we were saying that you're very even keeled. I feel like you get too low, but you just power through. I guess kind of like, do you think that mental wellness and like being confident in yourself and buying into a program, do you think all of that is needed to perform well on top of being in shape?
Absolutely. I think whenever I talk to like high school kids, middle school kids, whatever, even college kids, like
two idiots hosting a podcast,
or two idiots hosting a podcast, I always try to remind people that there's a ton of training, ton of ways to train for any event, and they all work. It just depends on how much you believe, I think. Obviously, like, there's a lot of science to training as well. But at the end of the day, I think there's a lot of stuff that works. But one of the biggest parts to actually succeeding on race day is believing that what you're doing is going to get you to race day fit, and being confident in what you've done to get there. And so, absolutely confidence, believing in what you're doing, and obviously seeing people before you succeed doing the same thing that you're doing makes it a lot easier. But no matter what, I think even if you sometimes have to trick your brain into believing that you're fit and confident and ready to go, that can go a long way on race day as well.
Yeah, definitely watching like all you guys because like obviously I feel like you had a good segment. So like watching you run that got me hyped up. Like JP was like his first one, also killing it. Was like definitely gave us good hope that like if we keep at it, something good can happen. And even like our good friend Wilkerson had a tougher build, but like still on the given day like still absolutely balled out given the fact like what was going on. So I feel like it is definitely does. That's a good part about teams too. Is like you can kind of see the roadmap for like where it leads, which is nice. So thank you as a teammate.
Yeah,
for definitely showing and giving us belief that if we keep at it, then and keep in the system, then good things will happen.
That's another thing that leads to confidence is just running with people. I think just like being surrounded by people who get you out the door every day and because let's be honest, like ultimately what we do is like not super enjoyable, especially when you're doing it by yourself. Like it kind of sucks, but when you have people that you enjoy doing it with to do it with, it makes it a lot more fun, and just finding ways to enjoy the things that you're doing. Like I really enjoy just like running a bunch of different places all the time. I know that you guys kind of get annoyed by that sometimes because I like to meet different places, but that just keeps it fresh for me. That's an easy way to just talking about mental health. I think that's an easy way to kind of continue to enjoy what you're doing more and more. So,
should we hit him with some random questions?
Yeah,
get to know Zach a little bit.
We've talked enough about your success.
Yeah, and how great he is.
How great you are. Are you just a robot outside of running? What do you do? What's a day look like in a Zach Paintings day? What are we looking at here?
I do sell shoes at Hansons Running Shop.
You get to sell shoes.
Four convenient locations in the greater Metro Detroit area.
Oh yeah.
Swing on
So
through.
that's always enjoyable. I enjoy helping, especially the high school kids when they come in, figure out kind of what shoes to wear, what's going to help them get the most out of themselves. But outside of that, go to the gym every once in a while. Watch a lot of basketball, especially this time of year. Well, right now it's kind of slowing down. I kind of am ready for the playoffs to start, which my Pacers are not going to make it to the playoffs, but that's okay.
You're still going to watch the playoffs?
Who's
yeah,
your pick?
I'll watch it. I love.
Who's winning it this year?
I think I'm going to take the Bucks. They're
Not a chance.
They're turning it on at the
Dead
right
to me.
time.
Dead
They're
to me.
turning it on at the right time. Boston falling off a cliff, unfortunately.
I'm telling you, Timberwolves
The
are coming on when they need to.
The Timberwolves do look good right now.
They look great.
I will not.
They look great.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert is a complete waste of money, but like other than that,
yeah.
I mean, we paid $33 million a year
Yeah.
for him to get a 17 point.
Yeah.
No, 13 points and
Might
11
make,
boards.
yeah, maybe make the playoffs.
What's your 10-second roadmap to the Pacers to get back in the playoffs?
That's the thing. That's what sucks about kind of being a Pacers fan.
Time's up. It's over. You're never gonna make the playoffs.
Well, that's the thing. They make the playoffs a lot, but it's just like mediocrity. Like something needs to change to get these small market teams the ability to land big time free agents. And until that happens, I could see us maybe making an Eastern Conference Finals, but we're not going to win the we're not
So
going
what
to win the finals.
What you're saying is
unfortunately.
Indianapolis needs to get a lot cooler?
It's really cool if people gave it a chance.
You don't believe
I-
that. You don't believe that. They're building that like $1 billion like what is it, G League stadium or whatever on the water. What was that big I'm just talking like
Yeah.
right now without having a real basis of it. I could look it up on Google. They're dumping a bunch of money into something downtown.
Really?
It's like some sports complex.
Really?
A guy who likes Indianapolis would have
You
done
indoor
that.
track?
No,
I'm from
indoor
Fort Wayne.
track.
Yeah.
Fort Wayne.
Yeah, I mean, that would suck if they moved the Mad Ants down to Indianapolis. 'cause
I would hate to see
Yeah.
that. Yeah. No,
my
it
Fort
was
Wayne Mad Ants.
It was a MLS team. That's what it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Not that you would
The
care.
Indy 11?
Yeah, it was the Indy 11. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
He's
actually
an indie
do know
guy.
something about a city. Wow.
Indie
Yeah.
guy.
Wow. Big indie guy.
But
I got to go in. I need you to name one famous person, or not famous person, honestly, that you could be in a very friendly, consenting UFC cage fight.
I'd have to be really torqued up. Like, I would just, like, laugh, honestly, if I was in a fight. Like,
This is fight to the death.
No, I mean, it's like
you guys have got to
like,
throw
yeah.
down.
like
It's,
it would
like,
have to be someone
serious.
that I really don't like. And there's, like, not a lot of people that I really don't like.
I'm saying it's for fun, but like
But
you're getting money. Like, let's say for like $500,000, you got to fight a famous person, consenting, both people sign the waivers.
Uh,
I don't think you need to sign the waiver.
It could be fictional.
I-
It could be fictional.
It could be
Well,
a combo of
it could
all
be
of
like
your
Mickey,
high school
yeah.
bullies.
Could
How
be
about
Mickey
this?
Mouse.
How about this? I'd love to beat Hitler. How about that?
I think that's something
that-
everyone's gonna get behind.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
I
There
think
we go.
I think that would work.
Off to a hot start with that question too. Hitler. All right.
Well, yeah, no, that, I've never been stumped quite like that.
That was good.
You froze me, Zach.
I could just get torqued up for that. You know,
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it'd be an easy one to be like, I really hate you, and I'm gonna kill you right now.
Yeah.
Wow. And everyone would be
So-
on board.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's nice.
everyone would be on my side.
Yeah, that would feel good.
But
Okay,
there is a
that's-
small group of people that
Yeah.
would not be on your side, but
Unfortunately.
we hate them too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they'll be the
But-
next ones in the octagon, so
Yeah.
we'll good. We'll just how many neo-Nazis? This is great content. You want to move on to some closing Let's Run advice here with Zach?
Oh yeah.
'Cause, probably getting a
of
little
course,
long on the tooth.
For whatever reason, we've hunkered into the Let's Run dating advice because, again, who doesn't want to hear about that from us? First one that I found was, this was roughly 7 years ago from Let's Run. The topic was dating 3 girls instead of paying rent, which was mind-boggling to see to start.
This guy,
First of all,
this guy's a genius. If you can pull it off.
Hear me out. He says, I'm curious if anybody's ever tried this before. My lease expired last month, so he's already doing this, which is the crazy part. He goes, I decided to not renew it. He's not renewing it, but he's got 3 girlfriends at this point. I'm already smelling a hint of BS. And nobody who's posting on this website has 3 girlfriends. But we'll take him at his face value here.
Once we get to his PRs,
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, so he's basically saying 1 to 3 nights a week he's staying with one of these ladies, and none of them are wise to each other. He says they've all been roughly like he's dating one of them for like 2 months, the other one for like 4 months, the other one for like 3 months. crazy human sounds like, but he goes, I'm storing all my other stuff at a platonic friend's house. So he's just quite literally couch surfing. And he goes, he gave us he goes, can this work? Like, would this be considered polygamy or anything like that? He kind of goes down a rabbit hole for a second. But then he proceeds to go, additional info. My lifetime PRs are 15-0 in the 5K, 2:30 in the marathon. And he goes, currently 20 pounds overweight and jogging and hiking a couple days. If that matters, it sounds like he's fishing a little bit here for potentially a fourth girlfriend to complete the circle. My thought process is just get a new lease, you psycho.
I'm here for it, honestly.
I want to know where he's living. Because
he's living, like what city?
Yeah, like is this somewhere in like North Dakota that's
this
like has
like
30
Baltimore.
people?
No, this reeks of this reeks of Utah.
You think Utah? No, not a chance. Have you seen the mortgages there? No, they don't rent there. Yeah, no, this is like Baltimore slum, and he's like,
but I mean,
long shorts go, oh yeah, a lot of that like kind of thing.
Flacco.
Like, the Stavros, I like his voice. Yeah.
If there was something, I mean, like if you have enough game to just go from, I mean, there's got to be overlap, and that's where I guess your morals kind of come into place. But if you can just pull this off,
this guy has no morals. Let's
like if you can just if you can pull it off for a little while, like great way to save money. And then once they ask you to like pay rent, you break up with them. It's awful.
That's your ripcord is just
it's awful. But like,
okay.
And then maybe you actually find somebody you love, and then you start paying rent.
I think this guy's pretty committed to never paying rent.
I'm here for it. This is like thinking that this is good thinking. And he put the PRs.
This could be fun to like guess his career. Because
what if he's worked from home? Well, no, 7 years ago it wasn't
you
a
can't
thing.
work from home when you don't have a home.
That's true.
You can't. I mean, I'm guessing. I was a DoorDasher in the past, and he smells like a DoorDash driver to me.
Maybe that's how he's meeting the woman.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, no way.
Drops off the groceries
Pizza
and then just
delivery.
walks in.
You think he's the Rizzler? He's walking in there with
where,
the bag.
where is he meeting these women too?
Yeah.
That's
Group runs.
You think
group runs?
Gotta,
that's a great
you
spot.
got to go into different group runs.
He divulges. He goes, one of them's a runner chick, and then the other two do regular workout. No pics available.
One of them.
At this time.
One of them's my mom.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like we're gonna call it for what it is. He's lying first of all.
Yeah.
Like I'll give it to him like a decent little bait here from him. But yeah, that one was what it was.
This dating advice thing, this segment here. It reminds me. I listen to the Ryan Russillo podcast, and they always do life advice at the end. I swear that it always seems to be they're a former collegiate runner. So I wonder if Let's Run just creates this need to get advice, stupid advice, probably lie in a bunch of different stories.
Every story,
I swear they are always former college runner or former high school runner.
Maybe it's just because we're really freaking weird.
That's
the mental stability of all of us is probably a bit a lot of these threads could be fixed with therapy. I would assume
they probably got called Wario. Maybe.
No, I feel like we'd spend a lot of time just talking too about stupid crap on runs.
That's true.
So I feel like we might just be more prone to asking opinions. But yeah, it is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Did you see on the boards that there was the first Let's Run baby?
Oh yes.
Which is delusional that two people met on the boards and then got married and now have a kid.
How do you spark a romance from Let's Run? How do you DM through the
I don't know.
Are you? I mean, he's risen the chick up in live time on these forums. He's probably just throwing crazy lines out there.
Yeah.
He's I bet you never seen somebody run 4:58 like that kind of stuff that. You gotta have some I
mean, that's speed goggles without even seeing the person.
I will say I will give that guy some credit because if you can pull a chick off of a forum,
maybe that'll be the next segment.
Pulling chicks off of forums.
Yeah, if we can.
I don't think. No. I think that one's gonna get us censored.
Maybe just
pulling the.
They're like, hey guys, we're moving the jars. You're on your own today.
It's a social experiment, That's what we do here.
That's what all bad ideas are. People go, yeah, it was a social I was trying something new.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining, like, definitely not Alberto Salazar is meeting or DMing, like, some other stupid name.
Just like a horrendous, like, I mean, you can just go through, like,
The names are something else.
Yeah, you got Guppy.
Guppy.
Love having my own business.
All right, I feel like we're definitely way over our time limit. But Zach, you have anything else you want to?
I just wanted to say thank you again to Stoke, and especially Wilkerson, but really just...
Not James.
And James, obviously.
We haven't thanked James enough, too.
Yeah.
James, thank you.
James, we appreciate
Zach's isn't genuine, but mine is.
We got to have you out to see our wonderful studio here at some point, but that'd be great.
Live from the curtain room.
Live from the curtain room. I feel like, we're definitely over time, so we'll save our misery for another episode.
Yeah, we'll just be sad on another one. We're
so.
always sad, though, so you know.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Here's a jar for you to take home. We probably have a sticker for you. So any future guest, there we go. So thanks for coming. And we'll see you next time.
Peace.